friends on YouTube. Hope you're doing great. Yay, today I've been out for about 3 hours walking my dog with a friend. Such a nice weather we had today. So it was really nice staying outside for such a long time. And back home again in my apartment, I just remember that it's about time to create my Sunday orchid video. What could be better than taking you guys on a tour to show you how I grow my orchids a bit and my growing area, first and foremost, and such. As I live in a quite small apartment, I have really restricted areas where I can grow them to start with. And I grow my orchids on the windowsill in the northern hemisphere. So we have quite hot summers and a bit colder winters, not so cold anymore, but quite cold. That's what we got nowadays. That's our climate here. Anyway, I use regular tap water directly from the tap. No filtration, no extra filtration or osmosis water or such. I don't have the resources for it, nor do I have the space to install a huge osmosis water tank filtration. Yeah, so this will have to do. But a little trick I do use when it comes to orchid water is that I pour it up in buckets and watering cans in advance. Sometimes a month before I'm going to use it, sometimes a week, sometimes a couple of days only. It makes the water a bit lower when you measure the TDS, the total dissolved solution, since I assume the chloramide disappears a bit when exposed to air. It gets a bit lower, and since I've been having aquariums for my whole life, almost, I've always been using this method before we have the water conditioners for aquariums. We always poured up water in advance in order to get rid of a little bit of the heavy metals and as well as chloramide, of course. So we saved a little bit of water to the bottom of the bucket, which we threw out. We have soft water with a TDS, total dissolved solution, around about 100 ppm, parts per million. So it's not clean, of course, it's not totally clean, but it's okay. I have quite a low pH, about 7 to 7.3, and not so much bad stuff in the water. And I fertilize them quite often, usually when they are in growing stage, of course, almost, all year round, it seems, since I provide a lot of extra additional light to them. I use this one, a quite strong fertilizer, and balanced 20, 20 and 20 regarding MPK. I think it is 1 gram per liter water, so lasts a while, this little bag. And when they're not growing as much, I use this one for now. The Curlin Orchid Fertilizer A and B, 2-component Orchideen Dunga, 5 milliliters for every 2 liters of water of each. So I use them simultaneously, mixed up together, to promote more compact growing orchids and not so flimsy tall new growth. That's the idea. And I also add a little bit of CalMag, this CalMag Pro, with a little bit of seaweed extract to it. Yes, not every watering, but now and then. And as for light, I use my LED tubes, 4000 Kelvin, really cheap ones, and daylight white light, as well as I use this one. It's 2300 candlelights, 800 lumen, and it's a really, really nice grow LED bulb. Look at it, it's here. And this one looks like this. A lot of red light, but it works. Widely spread radio, so I find that grow LED bulb really, really beneficial for the plants. And this is the first growing area I've got on my new bench in my kitchen. And here's where I put most part of my Paphiopelums, the smaller guys. On this little tray. Can work like a merry-go-round. And one day these guys get the most artificial light, and the other day I can just twist and turn this little tray around, and these guys are getting the better light the other day. And I also put my fire tanker Will here, since I don't know where to put him. And as well as the large Brassia rex, the species, lovely one. I don't know where to put him anymore. He's growing so large and wide, but I really don't want to get rid of him, and I sure don't want to divide him either, so yeah, I guess he's gonna stay there. And the other ones, the other paths here. Yeah, it's easy. They're sitting in quite similar type of media. Yeah, some kind of limestones, some pumice, some charcoal, some bark, medium grade, small grade, perlite, perhaps. And it's soon time to repot a few of them, which I never repotted. As for this one, yeah, my paths. I got another shelf here, 4 stories high, really slim one, 22 centimeters wide here. I mean deep, so. But it's perfect for the trays, the little plastic trays. I love them. So down here I have well, a lot of seedlings. Some sitting in some hydroponics, like this one. This Angrecum. And this Angrecum, Leonis, a new one from the Comoro Islands. And this one is not a seedling, as you can see. It's in bloom. But it's such a small guy, so we might as well just stay here, since it likes it here in its place, in that particular spot. And in there, yeah, some more seedlings, shall we say, young plants. Most part of them are sitting in, yeah, the same kind of media, such as small grade bark and perlite and such, rock wool, or semi-hydro. Really easy to care for. I water them about twice a week, once or twice a week, since it's a lot drier in my apartment during winter time. And on this shelf, I keep my phals, a few species and some crosses. As for this one, phal, Mickey Big Wave Peloric, and most part of them are sitting in sphagnum moss with some perlite in a plastic container with holes in it. And I should water them today, as a matter of fact. Now, almost all of them are getting into growing stage right now. Some new roots emerging everywhere. Really looking great, I think. So, and up here, I have some more seedlings, Kitleas, and yeah, mixed varieties, mixed genesis, and a few which are not seedlings anymore. As for this one, this Oncidium, and this lovely orchid back here. Would like to show him to you. Woo! It's nice and cozy on this shelf, isn't it? ETT. He's saying you Gold Coast fireworks. Gorgeous, gorgeous firework looking blooms. It bloomed for me last year, and this year it created this little sheath. So, and I also got the yay, hidden top shelf behind my crystal lamp. Yeah, here's where my stubborn Phalaenopsis store-bought crosses stays. And they're gonna stay there forever. No, it just sits there doing nothing except for growing roots and some lovely green foliage. And today I moved a few of my Christiansen type orchids here as well, since now it's time for them to go dormant, to enter the dormancy. I usually reduce watering as well as cutting out the fertilizing between Halloween to Valentine's Day. Yeah. And now these guys are going dormant all by themselves. I didn't have to do anything. They just did their thing that you should do, so that's great. So now they're going to stay up there in the most dampened light area. And here's my kitchen window. Quite crowded, I've heard. This is how it's going to look after a while. Pinocchio is a lovely one. I keep a few paths, a little bit larger paths, on the windowsill here. As well as I keep a few, or quite many, as a matter of fact, Cattleya's in semi-hydroponics here. And I water them, and the water runs through the holes down there, down to the tray, and adds a bit extra humidity to the atmosphere around it. And now a few of them are getting into bloom, creating buds in the sheath. As well as this lovely one, Psychopsis. Yeah. And up here on the shelf, it's a Dendrobium. Here's a Cattleya, and the Epidendrum, severed Epidendrum. He didn't really fancy all that much light, so I had to place him to the most dampened position on this shelf. Now he's doing better. Yeah. Okay, kitchen ready. So welcome to the rainforest. This is actually my living room. One side of it, thank God. No, it's not so bad really. Some people may think this is a bit much, an exaggeration. But that's the kind of person I am. I've always been that kind of person. I really get into it and I go for it 110%. That's how I am. So anyway, this is my newest shelf, where I keep mostly, of course, Cattleyas. The most part of my orchids are in the Cattleya line. So, and on the top shelf, my huge Maxillaria Tenofolia. I love this orchid. I don't know if you actually can tell how large it really is, but it's terribly large. And as I said, I adore it. And it's sitting in semi-hydro, and I was a little bit scared that it would reject it, but it didn't. It's doing great. Really, really lovely. Fantastic. Yeah. So let's just wait for a couple of blooms, perhaps next year. Then it will be established, I think. And a few Scambria type orchids next to it. All sitting in semi-hydroponics. And here, on this shelf, Cattleyas. A bit shorter Cattleyas, so they fit. And the grow lead tubes here, put onto the shelf with some stripes, as I call them. And down here, a few Bendaceous type orchids, Renotheras. There are two actually, the backside. Monochica and Calcium. And proper Vanda. And some Irides and stuff. Papillionati, a Mendacious type orchid as well, sitting in semi-hydro. This Architleia is in bud. This one is in bloom, about to fade. This Galliandra that I love so much. Down here, a few Cattleyas and my poor little, no, not poor, they're looking quite alright, my Tulumnias. I think I'm going to deal with them before long, but we'll see what happens. A couple of more Cattleyas doing great. A few in sheath and stuff. And to the bottom shelf, I've got a little bit more low-light orchids, such as Dendrobiums, Epidendrums. This Dendrobium is not on its way of dying, it's just shedding its leaves. It's its behavior. I got a little bit worried, but it's a Dendrobium Odontoglossum. It really does this before it starts to create its buds, bloom spikes. So let's hope for some blooming spikes, or at least for this little lovely growth to develop fine. And Dendrobium Dawn Mary and Epidendrum Nocturnum, creating spikes, a couple of spikes this time. And yeah, Oncidium and Cattleya. And up here in the window we got two bands sitting together, tricolor, and one I never remember its name. Well, yeah, I will make a pop-up. I never remember its name. It's quite a difficult name, I believe. And Kaiser's Limming, hey, Kaiser's Brechtisans, the Epidendrum Parkinsonianum, Bulbophyllum Medusae, and down here, in the actual window and on the benches, a lot of Cattleyas, most of them the larger ones from Lucke, and starting to create sheath and buds. So there will be some good stuff for you to see before long. Yes. And this is the lovely RLC. Amazing Thailand Rainbow. Yeah, it's quite large now. Its newest growth is this tall, really this tall. Taller than the other ones. So it's becoming a nice specimen. Hey, a few more. A bud there. Yeah, some more buds over there. And this large Epidendrum Stamfordianum, my lovely one, to the back side. Yeah, quite a lot of Cattleyas coming into bud and sheath now. And grow-led bulbs, lamps, on this stand. And this little humidifier here. And I also got this little IKEA stand with orchids. Yeah, I love it. I got a few more in the basement. But anyway, here's where I keep my a little bit odd genesis, such as my Dimorphocus, a few Kedocene types going into dormancy slowly but surely, some larger phals, all of my Bulbophyllums up there hanging in hanging baskets, and to the right my Angrecums, Bosserii times Sesquipedale, Pholidota, and some more lovely Angrecums, and a few Oncidiums, and Odontonias, or whatever it was, a few Dendrobiums up here, waiting for them to create stuff. So quite a lot of Dendrobiums on this, in this stand, I guess. Lovely ones. No named one, but this one is suspicious. The tag is missing. And of course my Stanhopea. I have two of them actually, but the other one is somewhere else. Hanging there in my balcony door. So guys, I believe you heard enough of my voice for today. For a couple of days' time. So I guess this will be it. Now you know how I grow my orchids and where. In this lovely made-up greenhouse. you gotta do what you gotta do. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, guys, and talk to you soon. Bye bye.